Every day, you have two choices. Continue to sleep with your dreams, or wake up and chase them. So, wake up yourself to live your dreams. Welcome to Civil's Way. We are going to discuss a very important topic in Indian polity, national emergency. The emergency provisions are included in the Constitution to safeguard the sovereignty, unity, integrity and security, the democratic political system and the Constitution itself. They are given under Articles 352 to 360 in the Constitution of India. During the national emergency, states become under control of the center without the amendment of the Constitution. Thus, the federal structure becomes unitary. This is a unique feature of Indian Constitution. Can you name a perfectly federal country? Yes, USA. Under no circumstances, the federal character of US can be changed to unitary. There is no constitutional provision for the same. Indian Constitution is quasi-federal in nature, which means like federal. There are three types of emergencies. 1. National emergency under Article 352. 2. State emergency or President's rule under Article 356. And the third one is financial emergency under Article 360. In this video, we are going to learn about the national emergency under Article 352. Next, we are going to look at the grounds in which national emergency is declared. There are only three grounds for the declaration of national emergency: war, external aggression, and armed rebellion. If the emergency is declared due to war or external aggression, then it is called external emergency. And if it is declared due to armed rebellion, then it is called internal emergency. Once again, if the emergency is declared due to war or external aggression, then it is called external emergency. And if it is declared due to armed rebellion, then it is called internal emergency. National emergency can be declared by the President even before the occurrence of these events. If he is satisfied with an imminent danger, he can proclaim national emergency even before the actual occurrence of events. Now, we shall discuss the parliamentary approval required for national emergency. Both houses, that is, both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, should approve the proclamation of national emergency within 1 month from the date of proclamation. If Lok Sabha dissolved in this time frame without approving, then the proclamation will be in effect until 30 days from the first sitting of reconstituted Lok Sabha, provided Rajya Sabha has already approved in the meantime. Once the proclamation is approved, national emergency can be continued for a period of 6 months to any length of time. Once again saying, once the proclamation is approved, national emergency can be continued for a period of 6 months to any length of time. In order to continue the national emergency, periodical approval from the Parliament is required in every 6 months. Approval and extension of national emergency needed special majority votes in both houses. That is, majority of the House and 2/3 majority of the members present in voting. Now, we may look into the revocation procedures of national emergency. With a subsequent proclamation, President at any time can revoke the proclamation. Further, if Lok Sabha passes a resolution disapproving the continuation of emergency, President must revoke the emergency. Then if 1/10 of the Lok Sabha members give a notice to the Speaker for the consideration of disapproval motion, Speaker must constitute a special sitting within 14 days from the date of notice to consider the disapproval of national emergency. Notice can be given to the President if the Lok Sabha is not in session. There are two major differences between approval and disapproval of national emergency. For approval, Majority is needed from both houses of parliament, and for disapproval only disapproval from Lok Sabha is needed. For approval special majority is needed, and for disapproval simple majority is sufficient. Now, we may understand the effects of national emergency in our country. There are effects of national emergency in executive, legislative, financial matters, fundamental rights, center-state relationships, etc. We will look into them one by one. Our aim of this video is to ensure that you won't need to look for other resources to learn about national emergency. Okay. So be with us. We may look into the effects on executive relations between center and states. Center can give executive directions to states in any matter. Normally, this will be in some specified matters. Now, the state government come under complete control of center even though they are not suspended. The legislative changes are: Parliament can make any laws on any subject on state list, even though the legislative power of state government is not suspended. Center got overriding powers. Laws made in this manner become inoperative 6 months after the emergency has ceased to operate. The financial effects are: President can modify the constitutional distribution of revenues between center and states. He can reduce or cancel the revenues to states from center. Modification will be in effect till the end of financial year in which the emergency has ceased to operate. Next, we will look into the effects of national emergency on fundamental rights. Articles 358 and 359 deals with the same. Article 358 says about the effects of national emergency only on Article 19, that is the 6 freedoms. It says that the 6 freedoms will automatically suspend upon the declaration of national emergency. Legislative and executive actions related with emergency, I repeat, only those related with emergency cannot be challenged on the ground that they are inconsistent with Article 19. Article 358 operates only on external emergency and not on internal emergency. It will be in operation for entire country and for the entire duration of national emergency. Article 359 is for other fundamental rights except Articles 20 and 21. The right those are affected will be specified in presidential order. Here fundamental rights are not suspended, but the right to move any court for the enforcement of fundamental rights are suspended. Article 20 and 21 remains enforceable. Laws related with emergency alone are protected from being challenged. Article 359 operates in both internal and external emergency. Unlike Article 358, the area of operation and duration will be specified in presidential order. It can be for the entire country or for a specific area. It can be for the entire duration of emergency or for a specific period of time. The national emergency may have an effect on the tenure of Lok Sabha and State Assembly. Both can be extended by 1 year at a time by a law of Parliament. It can be extended for any length of time. 5th Lok Sabha headed by Indira Gandhi extended by 2 times for 2 years. The length was from 1971 to 1977. Parliament is empowered to extend state legislative assemblies 1 year at a time. National emergency has been declared 3 times in India. First was in 1962 due to Chinese aggression in Northeast Frontier Agency, which is currently Arunachal Pradesh. This was active till 1968. Second emergency was proclaimed in 1971 due to attack by Pakistan. Both of these are external emergencies. Now, the third one was an internal emergency declared in 1975. This was the most controversial emergency of all. Both second and third emergencies were revoked in 1978. UPSC or other examinations may ask the Prime Ministers and President at the time of emergencies. First emergency of 1962 was proclaimed by the then President Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. Prime Minister was Jawaharlal Nehru. Second one was proclaimed by the President V. V. Giri. third one was by President Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad. Prime Minister was Indira Gandhi for both second and third emergencies. National emergency-related amendments are very important in competitive exams. Mainly, there are 3 constitutional amendments related with national emergency. 38, 42 and 44th Amendments. Now we will discuss the changes brought by these amendments. We may look into 38th Amendment of 1975. In this amendment, it is said that the proclamation of national emergency is immune from judicial review. Then the next change is that the President can issue different proclamations on grounds of war, external aggression or armed rebellion even if a proclamation is in effect. Now we may look into the changes done by 42nd Amendment of 1976. 1. The national emergency may be applicable to the entire country or part of it. Earlier it was applicable to the entire country. 2. The executive and legislative consequences of national emergency that we discussed earlier extend to all states even if the proclamation is limited to some part. That's all about 42nd Amendment. Now we will look into the 44th Amendment of 1978. 1. Proclamation of national emergency is subjected to judicial review. 2. In order to proclaim national emergency, written recommendation from Cabinet is required. This amendment is passed after the controversial emergency of 1975 revoked in 1977. In this emergency Prime Minister Indira Gandhi advised President to proclaim the national emergency. Cabinet came to know about the decision later. To prevent such sole decision-taking by Prime Minister, this provision is incorporated in the Constitution using this amendment. 3. The word internal disturbance is replaced with the word armed rebellion. 4. The parliamentary approval for the emergency within 1 month. Earlier this was 2 months. 5. The 6 months periodical approval provision. 6. Revocation of emergency by President when Lok Sabha passes a resolution for the revocation. 7. Revocation motion discussion provision when 1/10 Lok Sabha members give a written notice to Speaker or President. 8. Suspension of fundamental rights under Article 19 only on external emergency. That is Article 358. 9. Laws and orders related to emergency are protected from being challenged. 10. Restriction on Article 359. That is Articles 20 and 21 will be enforceable even during the national emergency. I hope you got a picture about national emergency. Thank you for watching this video. Civil's Way wishes you to have a great life.